Alright, so I'm gonna do this best I can. Swap's not that hard. It's really fucking easy. I mean, everything bolts in. You use the stock motor mounts for the LA that comes out of it. The only thing I had to do, since I still ran the fuel injection, was I had to cut a notch in the bell housing to fit the cam sensor, crank sensor, whatever it is, crank sensor. I literally just have that fucking ECU sitting right there. All the regular wiring and everything that came in the truck, which is kind of minimal, is in the truck. They're still here. For the fuse box, all you gotta do, you run your fucking, your terminals, where they all go, fucking negative, and then you ground it all and run it to the back side of the fucking alternator. Then your SAD cable, run all the same shit. You just fucking wire it from the fuse box. And here it'll tell you fucking positive, negative. I had to use 2 black wires just because that's all I had. But there's this big ass, like thick red wire that's coming out of the fuse box. You basically I just cut it and I just spliced it into, there's that contraption back there, in my truck at least, because mine's 87. So I had some can plugs going to it, or some connectors going to it. I just found, I tested the fucking, shit, what's it called? The plug with a multimeter or test light until I got a power on that was keyed, not fucking just hot always. So powered on with key. Also, same thing with the, or actually I think that the red one's a constant, pretty positive. Red one's a constant. This is green with the black stripe, that's your fuel pump power. That one needs to be keyed on. So you turn the key on, so you can hear the fuel pump running. Yours will be a lot easier as long as you rip everything out of that Dakota and put it into your first gen or whatnot, because you won't have to worry about the wiring for the fuel pump and to the tank, because I took a tank out of a 2500, so I had to change wires around and I kind of, well, had to splice from the 2500 wire harness, which was a few different colors, to this wire harness, which was obviously different colors. Yours is a 94, so I don't think you'll have to worry about OBD2. You might have OBD1. I don't know how that works out, but all you have to do is just find a schematic for the wiring. This is my OBD2 port. I haven't done anything with it recently. The truck needs like a torque converter and maybe a transfer rebuild, so I haven't been driving it. Can drive it, it's just I don't want to break it anymore. Big thing that I didn't do and I fucked up. So the coolant temp sensor is right in here, like right behind here. Let's see it somewhere. It's back there somewhere. But you have to have the factory one plugged in, or the computer will freak the fuck out. And when the truck's hot, you go try to start it right after you turned it off, and it basically floods. But you can still, I eventually still got mine started. So I had to run this little shitty contraption right here. Don't mind my expertise groundwork right there. But I just ran this in the coolant, or in the heater hose. It gives me a rough estimate of what the coolant temp is. I got this big ass nice radiator now and trans cooler, so I don't really have any issues with overheating or anything like that. But then also, if you run a tachometer, you're gonna want to splice into the gray wire on your coil pack. Just run the fucking, because this will be your feed to the tachometer, which mine's up in here, so you can get your RPM readings. I just unplugged a bunch of the connectors on the firewall back there, because it's like the one loop of the harness that went to like this side of the LA. Just make sure that there's one plug over there that you need to plug back in. because it runs to your like neutral safety switch for the trans, and this thing won't turn over or anything without that plug not connected. So I ran into that issue. I thought the starter was shit. I was like, what the hell? Ran it, or went and tried to turn it over, nothing. Then found that plug over there was disconnected. So I had to fucking plug that back in. Perfectly fine. Other than that, it uses pretty much all the exact same parts. Like, this is the stock fan shroud. Works fine with the fucking fan. Clears everything like it should. This thing's all beat to shit anyways. Radiator. Overflow tank still there. Everything literally just, it's the same exact motor. It's just a newer one with fuel injection. Trying to think if there's anything else random that I had to do that. I don't think so. Oh, you gotta get a TV cable for the throttle body. So that white piece right there, that's your new kickdown lever. Which, as long as you follow what was in that truck, the donor truck, you'll be all right. You just have to get the bracket that's on the trans. Mount the little bracket on the trans for the cable, everything like that. I had to bend my bracket just so it would actually like put tension on that cable, because even with me adjusting it up here, it was still not tight enough. I put 12-hole Bosch injectors in this thing just because I had 6 of them laying around from my old Jeep. They fit. You just kind of had to do a little bit of little janky shit to make them fit. You can't put the clips in like the bottom of the fucking. Actually, you can. Actually, I did. They look like they're a little short. They're not. They're the exact same thing. You don't have to do that. Power steering pump. I used the exact same lines that I had. Like, these are not really original, but newly made lines or whatever, new lines that I had to put in this. So the lines will work. You just kind of have to finagle them a little bit and tweak them. Like, that's supposed to have like a screw in it or whatever to set it, like a set screw or whatnot to hold it. But I went with just stock manifolds. These are actually the big bore ones, so like the exits are the outlets are bigger, so technically a little more horsepower, like 5 horsepower or so, if you can find a set. But if you just want to do as bare basic possible, the ones that are in the truck, or that's on that donor truck, work perfectly fine. You're just gonna have to probably take it to an exhaust shop and get a custom Y pipe built. That's what I had to end up doing. He had to build me one, because the Ram Charger one that I brought him was for a 2-wheel drive. This is 4-wheel drive, obviously, so it wouldn't clear the drive shaft, all that fun stuff. Just make sure you have all your grounds installed like you need to. I just went and grabbed grounds from the junkyard, from a truck, connected them in the exact same spots. Like I said, motor mounts, all the same. Just swap over the old LA ones. This thing's actually nice. Like, I haven't drove this thing in a while. I don't know if the battery's dead or not. It might be. Let's see. Too poor right now, so I don't have money for a torque converter or a trans rebuild. So I can still drive it. It just doesn't run as good as what it should. 2 clicks for fuel pump. Start right up. I did this like in a few weekends, between 2 weekends, 3 weekends. I was at my buddy's house. That was the first motor swap I've ever done.